live on YouTube, live on Twitter, and we'll be available wherever you get your podcasts. How's it going, Joey?
Oh, going pretty good. Going pretty good. Good as it can be, I guess.
Man, your Tar Heels got back on the winning track last week
Mhm.
with a big beatdown over Virginia. It's got to make you feel a little bit better about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. They played well. Um, Griswold had almost 300 yards. I mean, maybe he's figuring it out.
Maybe so. Hampton, again over 100 yards rushing. I can't really say a whole lot for Kentucky last week because they basically quit during the game and let Jarquez Hunter run all over him for 278 yards. And I think he's still
Mhm.
running out there in Kroger Field right now. But what a horrible performance by the defense in that game and the offense. Overall, Kentucky just awful. And it's not looking any better for them coming up this week, as we'll talk about after a while. But man, it's so disappointing. And then for Sunday, for Saturday, you got that, and then the Bengals on Sunday, disappointing. Just disappointment all the way around for football this time of the year. Shouldn't be like
Mhm.
that.
No, no. But hopefully it'll
Kentucky's
get better.
Kentucky's now 0 for 4, 0 and 4 this year in SEC home games. Not good. And those are losses to Georgia, which, was expected. South Carolina, Vandy, and Auburn. All three Kentucky should have beat, and they did not take care of business. Deflating, disappointing.
It is. I felt that way about Carolina football most of the year.
Carolina has a shot to have a little winning streak going here. It looks like if you look at their schedule coming up, as we'll talk about their game here in just a minute. But last week on our picks, I went 15-2. That's a good week right there. You went 14 and
Hmm.
3. You once again went against the
That's
Notre Dame, which they kind of messed you up. Overall, I'm 137 and 34, and you're 134 and 37. So tight race right there. 3 games separate us.
it's not bad though for either record. That's actually good.
Not bad at all. And if you take our picks on here, I would say just take our money line picks because they're over our our spread picks or or over unders. They're a little iffy at times, but our money line picks are pretty much dead on. Take
Yeah.
those. So we'll get started with our picks for the week, and we will start with the North Carolina Tar Heels traveling to Florida State, traveling Tallahassee to face Florida State. Carolina is a 2.5-point favorite on the road. Joey, what do you think about your Tar Heels on the road against a bad Florida State team?
Oh well. Uh, any other time I would say Carolina on the road. I don't know Carolina anywhere this year, but uh, Florida State's a big disappointment this year. Um, I really like our chances going in there and getting a win. Um, like I said, Criswell's been playing pretty good the past few weeks. Maybe he's finally settling in, finally figuring it out, getting himself in a groove. So we'll see. Let's hope they go in there and they don't choke it up because to me that's another embarrassing loss to Florida State as bad as they've been playing this year.
Yeah, Florida State's played horrible. They just, I mean, they won one game, and it was, I don't know, early. I can't remember who they beat. Poor team, I forgot. But they lost to a lot of teams they should have beat. I like Carolina to get back on track in this one. I'm rolling with the Tar Heels. I like them to cover that 2.5-point spread. So give me Carolina. Give me the under in this one. 50.5 is a lot, but give me Carolina. You like I'm guessing you're rolling with Carolina too, right?
Yes, 100%. Rolling with Carolina.
Covering the spread and all that good stuff.
Yep. Yep.
The next top 20, now we'll jump into the top 25. Our other team that we usually pick in this one, Colorado, they are on a bye this week. So Colorado last week beat Cincinnati pretty handily. They're 5-2, man. They're rolling towards a bowl game. Man, what'd you think about Colorado there last week? They looked pretty good last week, actually. Looking pretty good overall.
They looked like their normal self last week. You know, what you normally would expect from Colorado. So, yeah.
They're 6-2. They're bowl eligible, but they're a whole lot different when Travis Hunter is in there playing wide receiver. As long as he can stay healthy, it's a different ball team right there, for sure. So we jump into the top 25 for Friday night matchup. 8 o'clock, the San Diego State Aztecs travel to Boise to face the Boise State Broncos. Boise State is a 23.5 point favorite. The over-under is 56.5. Joey, what do you think about this big spread right here? Do you like the Road Dogs?
Well, I'm telling you, man, Boise State, they're surprised me this year. Genty's just on another level. I mean, 18 touchdowns. I mean, you kidding me? His line is like video game numbers every time you look at it. But yeah, give me Boise State in this one. I think Genty's going to have maybe 3 touchdowns, probably 200 yards. Yeah, give me Boise State. I think they'll cover that, and I think the over will hit.
23.5 is a lot. It is. Boise's at home, going to be playing on the blue field. Last week, Genty, his line was like 178 rushing yards. This week, it's 182. Last week, people was watching. They're like, man, this guy's going to be going crazy. He's running for over 200 yards every game, and he had 128 yards, and people were disappointed. And I'm like, any other running back, that's a great game. Some running backs don't even get that for, some of the backups don't even get that for a season, much less for that. Give me Boise State in this one, too. I think he's going to bounce back and have a huge game. And it's funny for me saying a bounce back when he's, had 128 yards last week. I think he's going to have a Genty-type game. I think that they'll win the game. I don't know about covering that spread. That's a lot. I think they'll beat them pretty bad, but 23.5 is a lot. Give me San Diego State for the cover. Boise for the money line. Give me the over in this one, too. I like Boise State in this one. Only because of Genty. I mean, he's a different kind of animal. So we travel now to Saturday and the big noon kickoff. High noon on Fox. Ohio State, number 4, travel to Penn State to face the Penn State Nittany Lions. Ohio State's a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5. Joey, what do you think about this top 5 matchup right here?
Oh, man. It's definitely going to be one to watch. Starting off the day with a banger.
Yeah.
Ohio State, man. Well, I don't know. This one's going to be hard to pick for me. I always hate picking these close games where both teams are they're just as good as each other. I'm going to probably have to roll with the home team in this one. I think Penn State will get it done at home. I know Marvin Harrison's had a great year. But
Marvin Harrison.
I'm going to roll with Penn State.
Yeah, he's had a great year for the Cardinals in NFL.
Wrong sport.
Oh, same sport, different one. Are you thinking of Jeremiah Smith, maybe?
Yeah, the Bullfrogs. Yeah, that's it. Like
Oh man.
oh yeah, no, I'm rolling with the home team in this one. I mean, I know Ohio State's good, but I mean, Penn State's unbeaten for a reason. So give me Penn State to cover, and give me the over.
So for weeks on this podcast, every time we come to a Penn State game, I always ask the question: is Penn State playing Michigan? No. Okay. Are they playing Ohio State? No. Give me Penn State for the win because the only teams that Penn State loses to is Michigan and Ohio State every year, just about. So when I'm thinking about this game here, I look at it and I'll say, all right, Penn State, are they playing Michigan? No, they're not. Are they playing Ohio State? Yes, they are. So that kind of narrows things down for me at this point. They're playing Ohio State. Give me the Buckeyes in this one. I like Ohio State to win on the road. Ohio State's lost one game this year, and that was to Oregon, at Oregon, in what was a close game. You know,
Mhm.
Oregon kind of out strategized, outsmarted Ohio State
Yeah,
there, with that penalty. But I like the Buckeyes in this one. I like them to cover that 3-point spread on the road. I think it's going to be a decent game, but I think Ohio State wins by a touchdown. Ohio State kind of got off to a slow start last week, didn't play real well, but still pulled out the win. I think they were looking kind of forward to this game coming up in Happy Valley. Give me the Buckeyes and give me the cover in this one. And the over, I like the under in this one. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot scored here. And Ohio State, could you get Quinshon Judkins going a little bit, maybe? I don't know. Just saying. He's had a down week for the past 2 weeks. Let's get him back going again, maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised if it could be a big bounce back game. He have a big game, but keep an eye on Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, keep an eye on Marvin Harrison in Arizona. Kyler Murray. Uh,
Yeah,
uh, the next 12 o'clock matchup, stay in the ACC. You're one of your teams here, the Duke Blue Devils. Just kidding.
boy.
Travel to Miami to face the number
Ooh.
5 Miami Hurricanes. Miami is a 20-point favorite. The over-under is 54.5. Joey, you think this spread's a little high for this game, being as Duke has been decent this year?
I do. I was going to say I'm definitely taking Duke to cover, but I got Miami winning. Uh, Ward and Restrepo. It's hard to say his name, but
Or strep throat? Yeah.
yeah, strep throat. Yeah, that's what I'm calling. They've uh, they've definitely got it going on. Miami's a fun team to watch. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Duke to cover. Give me Miami to win
Yeah. Duke, it's kind of a high spread. Duke's been a decent team this year. They've played,
though.
they're 6-2, but they haven't really had a big win this year so far. On the other hand, Miami, they're undefeated. They've looked pretty good. They beat down Florida State last week after struggling the last few weeks before that. I mean, I think they played a shootout game with Louisville the week before. They flirted with disaster a couple times with Virginia Tech, and that Hail Mary at the end there. But I think that they'll win this one. I like them to cover that spread. No, I like Duke to cover the spread. Ooh, but give me the over in this one. There's going to be a lot of points scored.
Yeah,
But yeah, give me Miami in this one for sure. The next 12 o'clock matchup, we go to the SEC, and the number 19 Ole Miss Rebels travel to Fayetteville to face the Arkansas Razorbacks. Ole Miss is a 7.5-point favorite. The over-under is 53.5. Joey, what do you think about this one?
well, this is another one of them. Uh, you know, flip a coin type deals for me. I think Arkansas is going to play pretty good. They're playing at home. Um, and you can't leave out Jackson Dart, what he's done this year. He's had a good year. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and pull one out here, and I'm gonna go with Arkansas on this one. Yes. Give me
All right.
Arkansas to win this game. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. What do you think about it?
I'm going with Arkansas too. I thought that we was going to disagree on this one. Ole Miss has kind of struggled for a lot of the season. Kentucky beat them earlier in the year, and we see what Kentucky's been. Arkansas last week put a beat down on Mississippi State. Arkansas beat Tennessee earlier in the year. Man, I just like Arkansas in this one as the home underdog. You give me, Ole Miss 7.5 point favorite here. I know they're high powered offense, but they really haven't shown it in the SEC. I mean, they beat up on these smaller teams. And Arkansas's played pretty well. Give me Arkansas in this one too, man. I'm with you. I like the upset pick right here. And I thought, like I said, I thought we was going to disagree on that, but yeah, give me Arkansas. The next matchup is a battle for the Commander in Chief Cup, I believe. The Air Force Falcons. Oh man, travel to West Point to face the number 21 Army Black Knights. Army is a 22-point favorite. The over/under is 41.5. Joey, either way we go here, we're patriotic. Who you got?
Oh, I got Army in this one. Daly's going to run all over them, throw all over them. He's going to do it all in this game. He's done it all basically for them all year. But yeah, give me Army in this one. Army to cover. Give me the points.
Yeah, with you all the way. Give me Army in this one. I think Army covers. Air Force isn't really that good. Army's undefeated for a reason. Daly, like you said, dual threat. He's actually throwing the ball a little bit, which is a little bit different from what Army's used to. But he still runs for a whole bunch of yards, scores a bunch of touchdowns, and then they got a running back that he runs a lot too. Both them guys are always like over 100 yards. I don't think it changes here. Give me Army. Give me Army to cover, but give me the under because I don't think Air Force is going to score a whole lot, and Army's probably going to be like 35-0, basically, or 35-3, something like that. Next 12 o'clock matchup, the Minnesota Golden Gophers travel to Champaign to face the number 24 Illinois Fighting Illini. Minnesota is a 3-point favorite on the road. The over/under is 45.5. Joey, what do you think about the home underdogs here?
Wow. Well, I was watching earlier. Scott Van Pelt picked Minnesota to win this game, but I'm gonna have to disagree with him. I think Illinois is going to handle their business at home. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Illinois to win the game and give me the over.
So I'm guessing they're going from last week where Minnesota beat Maryland by 25. And Minnesota's beat USC earlier in the year, where Minnesota had one of the strangest penalties called on them. 15-yard penalty, unnecessary roughness, simulating brandishing a weapon. That happened. That actually happened in the game. That was actually a call that the ref made. But I don't know why they're favored here. Illinois lost last week, 38-9 on the road to Oregon. I mean, that's Oregon. They're the number one team in the land.
That's a respectable loss.
So, yeah, so I don't know why they're the home underdog like this, but man, I'm going to roll with Illinois too in this one. I think that they pull off the home upset here, and that they beat. Yeah, it's weird to say that they beat Minnesota at home as the underdog, and they're ranked. So I don't know. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe I'm wrong, and Minnesota comes out and pounds them, but I think Illinois wins it, and yeah, they'll cover, of course, because they're the dogs.
I don't think you're wrong. I think you're right.
So we go to 3:30 matchups, and speaking of the number one team in the land, the number one Oregon Ducks travel to Ann Arbor to face the defending national champion Michigan Wolverines. Oregon's a 14.5 point favorite. The over/under is 44.5. Joey, what do you think about this? Do you like Michigan's chances here?
I do not. I like Oregon for everything. Michigan's not the same team. as they was last year, obviously, but not even close. And yeah, Oregon is, I think Oregon's right up there with Texas in my book. I mean, even throwing rankings out the window, I think Oregon and Texas are just on another level. So yeah, give me Oregon to cover. Give me the over. Go Ducks.
Give me Oregon in this one too. I think Oregon covers. Give me the over in this one. They're going to put up a lot. Michigan still got a good defense. They do. But they haven't seen an offense like this come and play them yet. Oregon's just a different animal out there. Michigan last week, they beat Michigan State 24-17, and Michigan State has not been good from what I've seen. But that's a rivalry game, so you really can't go by that. And, of course, Oregon pounded Illinois, which, I mean, they've pounded every team they've played except Ohio State. That was a competitive game. But I like Oregon. I like Oregon for everything in this one too. I don't think it's really even going to be a really good game. I know they got it as their prime 3:30 slot there, but with Gabriel and Jordan James and Tez Johnson and Stewart and Whittingham and everybody they've got back there. I mean, it's just too much firepower for Michigan. And Michigan on the other end, their offense. What do you say about that? The next matchup, the backyard barbecue, the world's largest backyard cocktail, whatever they call it. I have no idea. The Florida Gators at 4-3 face the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs in Jacksonville. Georgia's a 14.5-point favorite. The over-under is 51.5. Joey, what do you think about this rivalry game here?
Well, give me Georgia to win the game. But surprisingly here, give me Florida to cover. I think Florida's going to make it competitive. I think they may lose by a touchdown. I know that's saying a lot when you're playing Georgia, but it's in Jacksonville, so yeah, that's what I think. And as long as Georgia's had a couple of slow starts this year. Carson Beck, it's sometimes it's taking him a quarter or a quarter and a half to kind of get in the groove and get going. But once he finally gets going, they they handle their business. But I think Florida's going to make it competitive.
So the last time that we seen Florida play was 2 weeks ago. Both these teams had a bye last week. And Florida pounded a little team called, let's see, who did they play? Oh, yeah, the Kentucky Wildcats. And the week before that, they played Tennessee pretty close. Maybe shoulda, coulda beat them. The Georgia Bulldogs, they were also off last week as well. And the week before, they went to Austin, Texas, and played a little team called the Texas Longhorns, who at the time were the number 1 team in the land. And Georgia just kind of dominated them. Carson Beck, people's been saying, he's a Heisman candidate. He's one of the top prospects in the NFL. I kind of low-key don't think he's really that great of a quarterback. I don't know. I just don't really see it when I see him. He looks like he just – I don't know. I don't want to say it on here. He looks like he's just, hey, man, just, hey, whatever, man. I'm out here playing. So, I don't know.
Going through the motions.
Going through the motions. Yeah, we'll go with that. This is a Travis Etienne Bowl right here, or Trevor Etienne Bowl. He played for Florida. He transferred to Georgia. He's going back to play his old school here. Give me Georgia in this game. I like Florida to cover, though. I think that they'll keep it close. It's a big rivalry game for them. The barbecue, whatever they call it, world's largest cocktail, whatever it is. It's not the Florida State Championship. We know that. But give me the Dogs to win. Give me Florida to cover. Give me the over in this one. I think it's going to be a good game to watch. It's going to be. I think it's going to be better than the Oregon-Michigan game. That's just my thought. The next matchup.
I was about to say when you said that, when you said the Oregon Michigan game's in the prime 3:30 slot, I was about to say this game would have probably been better to put in that slot, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would have been. The next 3:30 matchup, the Texas Tech Red Raiders travel to Ames, Iowa to face the number 11 Iowa State Cyclones. Iowa State is a 13.5 point favorite. The over-under is 56.5. Joey, what do you think about this Big 12 matchup?
It's going to be a decent game too to watch. Um, I'm gonna say you give me Iowa to win, Texas Tech to cover. Um, I mean, I was undefeated. You know, anytime you got an undefeated team, you got to. I mean, in my opinion, you got to kind of give them the edge. So yeah, give me Iowa to win, Texas Tech to cover.
Iowa State last week, they kind of had to have a well, no, that wasn't last week. A couple weeks ago, they played UCF pretty close.
Yeah,
Had a late interception at the end of the game to kind of seal it. Iowa State's been undefeated all year. Uh, Texas Tech, they've played pretty decent. I mean, they were picked to be like one of the worst teams in the Big 12 this year, and they've played pretty well. I mean, they about beat TCU last week, who is about middle of the pack. Iowa State, they were off last week. Then they played, like I said, they played a close one with UCF. Oh, man. Iowa State is a 13.5 point favorite. Give me Ohio. Give me Iowa State. I think they win. Give me a Texas Tech cover, but give me the over. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this one. Texas Tech's got a pretty good running back there, and Taj Brooks, who's had a lot of yards this year and touchdowns. I think he'll have a big game here, but give me Iowa State. The next 3:30 matchup you can catch on the Peacock. Number 13 Indiana Hoosiers, undefeated, travel to East Lansing to face the Michigan State Spartans. Indiana is a 8 point favorite. The over-under is 52.5. Joey, do you like Indiana to keep up their winning ways and stay undefeated here?
yes, I do. Yes, Michigan State. You know, they're not that great. Uh, yeah, I mean, Indiana's pretty much handling teams when they play them. I know. I mean, Washington was yeah, 31-17 still. Yeah, give me Indiana.
Yeah, like I said last week, Michigan State, they played Michigan pretty close, but that was a rival game. Uh, I don't think that this game is going to be like that. Indiana, I probably would have picked against them beginning of the season just looking at it. Just look at it. But Indiana is undefeated here. Number 13, they pounded Nebraska a couple weeks ago. Like you said, they beat Washington, who was, I mean, they don't have the same coach, they don't have the same players, but they were in the national championship game last year. Uh, Indiana's been pretty good. Give me the Hoosiers in this one. I like them to cover that spread. Give me the under in this one, 52.5. Yeah, give me the under in that one. But give me the Hoosiers to continue their winning ways. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at their schedule coming up, but I mean, 9-0 for starting the season. Yeah, that's pretty good for Indiana football.
Yeah, they play Michigan, Ohio State the next 2 weeks after Michigan State.
All right, so things may be a little bit different, but not this week. So
Yeah,
I'll
but
roll
not
with them
this.
this week. Not this week. The last 3:30 matchup for top 25, the number 17 Kansas State Wildcats travel to Houston to face the Houston Cougars. Kansas State is a 13 point favorite. The over/under is 45.5. Joey, do you think Houston has a shot here, or do they have a problem?
Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, yeah. Give me Kansas State in this one to cover. Give me the over. Uh, Avery Johnson, as we call him. He's 16 touchdowns on year. He's had a great year. Giddens, I mean, you know, what can you say? I mean, just Kansas State all the way. I don't think Houston has any shot whatsoever in this game.
Yeah, Houston's not been too good this year. Kansas
No.
State. Kansas State's had one loss this year, and that was to an undefeated BYU team. So, I mean, I don't think they're losing here either on the road. I like Kansas State in this one. Like you said, Avery Johnson, he can run, he can pass. Giddens, he's had a bunch of 100-yard games here recently. Uh, give me Kansas State. Give me Kansas State to cover. I think that they win by at least 2 touchdowns, if not more, in this one. And I'll take the over in this one because I think Houston may put up a little bit, but I think Kansas State is just not going to have much of an issue with them. The next matchup, 7:30 matchup on ABC. The number 10 Texas A&M Aggies travel to Columbia, South Carolina to face the South Carolina Gamecocks. Texas A&M, 3-point favorite, over under 43.5. Joey, you like a little home underdog here?
I think South Carolina's going to play well and keep it competitive, but ultimately I got Texas A&M winning this one, and I got them also covered. And the over under 43.5. Give me the under in this one. I think it's going to be a competitive game though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. South Carolina's, I know they're 4-3, but they've played decent. They've hung in games that they shouldn't have. But yeah, give me Texas A&M.
Yeah, South Carolina, they've they had a big win earlier in the year when they beat who was it they beat? Oh yeah, Kentucky. And they just poured it on them and just kept pouring it on them. But that wasn't their biggest win of the year. Their biggest win of the year was 2 weeks ago. They had a bye last week, and they beat a little team called the Oklahoma Sooners in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's down, I know, but still, that's a big win for South Carolina on the road. I mean, nonetheless, last week they were off. Texas A&M, they had a pretty big win last week as well as they beat the LSU Tigers at home. Beat them by 2 touchdowns in what many people thought LSU, hey, they're going to be making the playoff here. I mean, they lost their first game of the year, but I think they're going to sneak in and make the playoffs. It's maybe not the case now. Texas A&M, though, they have lost 1 game. That was early in the year when they lost the first game to Notre Dame. I like Texas A&M in this one. I think Texas A&M may be playing in that SEC championship game. Maybe. I mean, they're going to face Texas, I believe, at the end of the year, close to the end of the year, and that'll be a key game right there. That should be a real good one. This one Saturday should be good too, but I like the Aggies to win. I like the Aggies to cover, and I like the over in this one. So give me A&M. Then next matchup. 7:30 on ESPN, the Louisville Cardinals travel to Clemson to face the number 11 Clemson Tigers. Clemson is a 10-point favorite. The over-under is 62.5. Joey, you like the road dogs in this one?
Hell's down around here, son. Yeah, I got Clemson in this game. Clemson to cover. Give me the over though. Both teams can score. I think there'll be a lot of points scored. But yeah, Louisville's. I mean, I'm not going to say they had a bad year. I mean, but Clemson's having a pretty good year, and I just think Clemson's got too much firepower. And you got Maffa. I don't think Louisville's going to be able to contain him in the backfield. So yeah, give me Clemson to cover, and give me the over.
You got Maffa, then you got Klubnik as the quarterback. Clemson, they've looked really good aside from the first game, which you throw out. That was Georgia, first game, whatever. Louisville, like you said, kind of been a little bit of a disappointment this year. I think they had only 2 losses all of last year. One of them was to Kentucky. But they've already got 3 losses right here after 8 games. Played Miami really well a couple weeks ago with all the, high-flying shootout that it was. Louisville can put up some points. Clemson can put up some points. Louisville's got a pretty decent wide receiver in Brooks, who's got like almost 800 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns this year. But like you said, it's L's down in here all week, every week. Give me the Clemson Tigers in this one. Give me Clemson to cover. Give me the over because I think Louisville's going to be able to put up some points on Clemson. I definitely know Clemson's going to put up some points on Louisville. But give me the Tigers in this one. L's down. Oh, boy. The next matchup, 7:45 on the SEC network. The Kentucky Wildcats travel to Knoxville to face the number 7 Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee's a 17.5-point favorite. The over-under is 45.5. Joey, what do you think about this game?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this one's gonna be hard to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see here. I'm gonna have to go with Tennessee in this one. I don't like Tennessee. I don't like saying their name, but I'm going with them in anything. I do think Kentucky's going to make it. They're going to play good. They're going to be up for this game. But yeah, give me Tennessee to win. Give me a Kentucky cover though. Yeah, this is tough.
The low down, dirty, snitching Tennessee Volunteers are going to have a blackout this week.
We all know how you feel about Tennessee.
So they went with the Venom kind of reveal of the jerseys for this week, which I got to say the production on that was awesome. I mean, it was, even for Tennessee. Tennessee, man, why are you breaking out the blackouts this week? Like, come on. Like, you don't need any more extra motivation against this team coming up. They've had troubles all year. Kentucky struggles. I mean, last week, that beatdown. Everybody quit in that game except for Dane Key, I believe. Kentucky don't even know who they're going to play at quarterback this week. They don't have a running back that's consistent. Trip Trainham, who's coming in from Ohio State, played like 4 snaps, and he's hurt again. Like, come on, man. You're getting paid. It's all this NIL money, and you can't play. You got people quitting mid-plays on the defense and letting guys, random running backs from Auburn, get 278 yards. Like, what's Dylan Sampson going to run against them? 400? I mean, there's a possibility there because Tennessee likes to run the ball. Kentucky don't like to stop the run. Kentucky don't even like to play defense. What am I talking about? Or offense, for that matter. Like, what kind are some of these play calls here? They're still getting the ball to Barry Brown east to west. Throw it deep to him. Matter of fact, don't throw it to him at all. Just let him return punts. You throw the ball to Dane Key. How about we do that? How about we just do that? Because he's the only one that acted like he cared last week or has cared for most of this season.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Tennessee in this one. I hate doing it. But there's no chance Kentucky goes down there and wins. Not with the team they've got. No, I mean, they've got the talent to go down there and beat Tennessee. Absolutely. But this team has quit, and they're not making a bowl this year. They may win one more game, and it's Murray State. But give me the Volunteers. Give me them to win. Give me Tennessee to cover. I don't think Kentucky's even going to cover. I think they've rolled over on the season, and it could get really ugly in Neyland Stadium this Saturday. Give me the over in this one too. I think Tennessee's going to just pound us. It's going to be like one of those late 90s Tennessee-Kentucky matchups where Tennessee was playing for national championships and Kentucky was, toilet bowl. The next matchup, the last matchup of the top 25 teams, 8 o'clock, the Pitt Panthers, number 18, travel to Dallas to face the number 20 SMU Mustangs. SMU is a 7.5-point favorite. The over-under is 57.5. Joey, this could be a fun little matchup here.
It is. It is going to be a fun game to watch. Man. Oh, I am going to roll with the Road Dogs, Jesse James in this one. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh win. 57.5 for the over. Yeah, give me that over too. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think Pittsburgh's going to win.
Last week, Pittsburgh just pounded Syracuse, but that wasn't offensively. They had 3 pick sixes in that game off of Kyle McCord, who is a quarterback for Syracuse now, Joey, not Ohio State. And then, their offense really didn't do a whole lot, but they really didn't have to. They picked off Kyle McCord 5 times in that game, 41-13. I mean, just absolutely beat him down on defense. SMU, on the other hand, they beat Duke in overtime, 28-27. SMU's played good this year. They lost their first game of the year, and they haven't lost since. Pitt, they're undefeated. Does Pitt get their first loss of the week? Or does SMU win? I'm taking the home team in this one. Sorry, Gage. But I've got the Mustangs to give the Pitt Panthers their first loss of the season. Give me SMU. Give me a Pittsburgh cover. Give me the over. I think this is going to be a fun game with a lot of high flying, a lot of offense in this one. So give me the SMU home team in this one. I like it.
It's going to be a good one.
And that is it for our picks for the week 10, as we're hitting November now. It's about to get really real in here, and we're getting closer and closer to what that 12-team playoff is, and we'll see what it looks like. Excited for it.
Yeah, me too. I am. I love the 12-team playoff switch. I like it.
Yeah, and what did you think about the Dodgers winning in 5 the other day?
Well, I got mixed. I'm like you on this too. I got mixed feelings about both those teams. I don't like the Dodgers, but I absolutely cannot stand the thought of Yankees winning anything. So, lesser of two evils. I was glad to see the Dodgers win and not the Yankees.
Yeah, Aaron Judge maybe should have been the MVP for the Dodgers in that playoff.
Yes.
Everything after that error just completely changed for that game, and the Dodgers just took advantage and ended it right there.
That helped a lot of people's bet slips too.
Yeah, and
thank you, Aaron Judge.
And Garrett Cole was like on fire the whole game, but he doesn't cover first base. And then that happens to Judge, and 5 unearned runs. Like, whoa, and the World Series over.
Dude, Cole was locked the first 3-4 innings. Like his face, just no emotions, nothing, just taking care of business, and then
working overtime.
Yeah.
Oh man, and so football. We got football Saturday. It's going to be a good slate here. There's some good games, especially the big noon game. I mean, get ready for that. I know you're looking forward to Marvin Harrison in that game.
I know,
but after Saturday, starting Monday, it's your time to shine, Joey. It's college basketball season. How excited are you for college basketball this year?
Can't wait. I'm already getting antsy about next season when the buzzer sounds in the national championship game in April. All right, how close are we to next season? I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be a good matchup. A good season. A lot of different faces in different places, coaching wise, player wise. It should be very interesting to see how it goes. Some good early season matchups coming up. I know your Tar Heels play Kansas next week. About this time next week. Next Friday, I think it is, ain't it? Or Saturday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's in Allen Fieldhouse.
And my Wildcats, they start off the season with a juggernaut that is the Wright State team. You throw the record books out when Wright State comes into to the arena. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, you can't mark that out as you can't count your wins with them coming in. You just can't. No. It's Wright State. Then Kentucky plays Bucknell. So I mean, at that, how do they start off with teams like that to begin the year? I mean, talk about somebody scheduling the hard teams for Pope to begin his career at Kentucky. Like, man, what are we doing to him?
Yeah. With college basketball nowadays, with all the talent, everything you got going on, transfer portal, Neal, and all that, you really can't look over any team.
No, you can't. I'm kind of joking around here a little bit about Kentucky's schedule to begin the year, but next Tuesday night, not this Tuesday coming up, because that's something's going on in America that day. I don't know what it is. Anyways, but the next Tuesday after that, Kentucky plays a little small cupcake team, Duke or something like that. I don't know. They got some player, Cooper Flag or something like that. I have no idea. But yeah, no. But it Kentucky's got a pretty good non-conference schedule. I know Carolina does too. So I mean, it's going to be fun to begin. I like the little tournaments that go around Thanksgiving time. Kentucky's not in one of them tournaments, but I think with Pope here in the next few years, they'll get into those. But I just like where you sit home Thanksgiving week and Monday through Saturday, there's college basketball all day long. There's college football in the evenings. There's NFL, and it's just like it's the best time of the year for sports. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Carolina plays Kansas on the 8th. And then on December 4th, we play Alabama. So,
and they're in the Maui tournament too this year. Carolina is, so that's part of that Thanksgiving week tournament's one of them that I like. To watch for Feast Week. Feast Week is the best week for basketball, early season college basketball, and college football. Like I said, that whole week you got NFL on Thursday, 3 games, college football every day, college basketball every day, all day. It's the best. It's the best time of year, and here we go. We're heating up. It's coming up.
Yeah.
Well, that will do it this week for this episode, and we'll catch you all next week for our Week 11 pick'ems. And, stay tuned because we may throw a college basketball one in here pretty soon. We're doing college basketball. We just don't know when yet, but we'll throw one in there. Can't wait, Joey.
Yeah, me too. We got a couple upcoming things coming up, so everybody keep their eye open.
Yeah, I got a couple of what do they call that? Pans on the oven? No, that's not it. A couple cooks in the shop. No, how's that go? Couple irons on the frying pan. I don't know. We got a bunch of things coming up, so just stick around, stay tuned. It's a little bit of wagering stuff coming up. You just never know. Just keep an ear out and an eye out. And we'll see you all next week here, yelling from the couch.